getting back to your question, in terms of visiting, there are no limitations on visiting once the residents are in Terracina and they adjust. I don't care when you visit, it's your family member, that's their home. Please come visit them. If they're able, take them out. You'll be surprised, even taking them from our dining room, because we have our own dining room, to the main dining room at Terracina. They'll be like, oh yeah, this is nice. Oh, I'm out eating, it's lovely. Just take them out. I always emphasize that. It's if you can, if they're able, why not? You make their day, you take them for a drive, they love it, they come back. They may come back and say, oh my goodness, I gotta go to Johnson City, but that's okay, that's beside the point. They enjoy the moment, they live in the moment. So at that moment where you're interacting with them and saying hello, and mom, I love you, kisses, hugs, whatever, they love it right then and there. And that's what you can, you cherish, because otherwise a little longer and it's gone. What I notice as well is some of, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Can you just back up a step? You skipped over the adjustment period.
Okay, the adjustment period, yes, very important. The adjustment period is a challenge, and that is the word. It's a challenge. Everybody is different, so they all adjust differently. You can't expect there's not one of the residents at Terracina that's the same person, not a single one. Even if they're related, they're not the same. They're all very different. So the adjustment period, what I normally tell the family members is, okay, you take him in today, you bring him down, we do what we have to do, you leave. You know, you don't say you're leaving, but you say, I'll make a call, I'll be right back, I'm gonna go to the car. Give him a day or two. And I normally will call you, or I said, if, you know, my head, I'm all over the place, I said, please call me if I forget to call you, and just see how they're doing. I like to get back with you a day or two later and say, okay, I think it's okay to visit today, because they're not seeking exit, they're not exit seeking, they're not trying to leave, they're not asking, where's my home, I want to go, where's my wife, where's my husband, so you can come and visit. If we find that they do, that they're exit seeking, I'll say stay away for maybe a week or so, but we play it by ear. I don't just say for everyone, because like I said, everybody adjusts differently. Somebody who's very mellow, are not exit seeking, they go with the flow. There's no reason to say stay away a week, because what I find sometimes is if the family members stay away too long, the residents feel like they're abandoned, okay? Because they still remember. They may not remember all the time, but they have lucid moment where they say, I have a wife, I think. Where is she? And they may not have their timeline necessarily in order. They may have their story a bit different. You know, they may insert part of the story in this time frame, in the past, and then in the present, but they still do remember that somebody, you know, I know somebody must be here coming to check on me. So I say, don't stay away too long, but don't come as often in the very beginning, because then you don't give them a chance to adjust. I have some male family members, one or two that would come all the time. I said, oh my goodness, they never adjusted. The resident is always with the purse and saying, my daughter's coming to see me, I'm gonna go to dinner with her. And I said, you see, that doesn't work. You have to give him some time for the staff at Terracina to be hands-on and getting to know them and knowing their needs, so that way we can be your person, that when you're not there, which you're not gonna be there all the time, that's why we're here for, we can step in and know, okay, this is what we can do for her, this is what we can expect. But if they don't get that adjustment period, it seems that they normally don't adjust for a long time, and sometimes probably never. Very few though. Most do adjust. Yes?
If that answer your question, I don't want to skip. So I want to be very specific on sundowning.
Okay.
How do you deal with sundowning, and how do you deal with sundowning in a proactive way first before medication, or do you feel like medication first? How do you deal with sundowning?
I hate medications. I hate medications. I hate medication. Sundowning. Okay. Sundowning is basically when you notice a resident in about 3 o'clock, between the hours of 3 and 6 p.m., that they begin to either exit seeking, or they become very agitated, they want to leave, they're searching for their family member, some of them can become belligerent, they're not the same person that they were throughout the day. And I have a couple sundowners actually. I have one that we're trying to work with medication to So I hate medication, okay? Non-essential medications like Ativan, because all they do is make you sleepy, and I don't want falls. So whenever somebody becomes agitated or sundowns, the first approach is why? Why are they doing that? Why are they all of a sudden want to leave? Why are they exit seeking? Why are they agitated? The urine is our friend. We go straight to doing a urinary, we do a culture and sensitivity to see why. If they have a urinary tract infection, we give them some antibiotics, we watch it. Sometimes, most of the time, that's all it is. It's because they have a urinary tract infection. If that's not the case and it's consistent at 3 to 6, and like I said, I have somebody right now between the hours of 3 and 6 p.m., completely different person. She's lovely during the day. She says, Martha, well, not Martha, she doesn't know my name, but she says, honey, I love your outfit. I love you. She walks up and down with the walker. She's great. But 3 to 5 to 6 p.m., very different. So the first thing is the why. After we try to find out the why, if it's not a urinary tract infection, and in her case it isn't, okay, can we redirect, without medication? Because again, medications, they make you sleepy, they fall, they broke their hip, that's the end. I don't want them to get a medication that makes them sleepy, unsteady on their feet. Next thing you know, they broke their hip, then they're out, then they came back, and then it's the end. Because with hip fractures in my age group, and their age group is 99.9999999% of them don't recover. It's the end. Once they have that hip fracture, the age, depending on the age, they can't operate, they can't do surgery. So you sit there, and something is traveling. A clot, a fat piece of fat travels, and then that's normally the end. And I hate that. It's like we're proactive in addressing it. So medications there's an invisible thing that I try first. Medications are the very last, just because of that risk. But we tried readjusting. Okay, can we do an activity at this time? What I do, I have one of the residents who will go to that gate. We have a gate with a big red button that says, push me, please. So every afternoon he'll go in there and it's a fire code thing. We have to have it this way because if there's a fire, anyone could just go and press it after 5 seconds. The gate's open so you can leave. So every afternoon he'll, and we say, what can we do? So we take him for a walk. When he does it, after 2 times around the building, walking twice around the building at Terracina is 1 mile. So, and he's very physically able. So we get him, we take him out for a walk, comes back, give him some water, hydrate him. That's it. That's all it is. No medications needed. That's all it took to fix his problem. And if that doesn't work, and we try to have some one-on-ones, I mentioned to the family, well, why don't have somebody, if you can afford it, privately come sit with them. This is after Terracina, our staff tries everything. Because we don't have sufficient staff to have the one-on-one interaction. So sometimes we need a hand, and it very acutely, not long-term. And that sometimes is all it takes. And if that doesn't work, then I'll say, okay, let's see that, we let the doctor know, and I'll say, okay, what we can do. And we try the medication that is least likely to cause them to fall, dizziness, that. I hate Ativan because, well, it just puts you to sleep and you fall. We try, recently what we've been trying that's working in terms of medication for that, it's Depakote. Divalporex is the generic, and it's basically an anti-seizure medication, but at low doses, it's a mood stabilizer, and it's worked magic. So we try that. So that's the least likely to fall. It works on the central nervous system. Of course, it has those side effects, but we don't see it very much. It's not very apparent, and it just stabilizes them. That way, they stabilize. And sometimes it's just as easy as giving them Aricept, because Aricept basically replaced their acetylcholine. What we notice as well, people who are sundowning, sometimes, with dementia, the acetylcholine is breaking down fast on a fast rate. The enzyme is breaking it down very fast. So if you can have a replacement, well, that's it. They just have the acetylcholine, which is a neurotransmitter, helps, with thought process, thinking, all that stuff. If you have them on something like that, that's it. That's what it takes to stabilize them. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
Is that answered to everybody?
Oh, go ahead.
I have one other question on that.
Okay.
Have you tried the individual iPods with music from their time?
Yes, we
Does that
actually.
work for sundowning for your people?
The magic Lawrence Welk.
Hmm?
We talk about the magic of Lawrence Welk.
Lawrence, well,
I'm talking about the iPod itself.
yes, with my residents, my population right now, age-related, dementia level, what I notice is it becomes an annoyance because they don't understand it. Now, we can have the music be played in the common area. We have speakers, we can have it going on, they can enjoy that. But to have it on them, because they're so anxious, they're trying to leave, pull it away. Yeah, it becomes an annoyance. But if you play like a boombox or something, just have the music on, and the big iPods, and that works. But not to put something on them, because when they're already in an anxious behavior, you don't want to necessarily put anything on them because they don't. It doesn't work very well. We've tried once with somebody and it didn't go very well. But if you put the music on, and they're like, oh yeah, they remember the lyrics and everything. I know all kind of music, not from my generation, and I love that's. I consider myself to be an old soul, and thanks to the residents, because they just take you back. Stuff you wouldn't listen to. My age group would think, you're ridiculous. How do you know this? I'll go home and I'll sing a tune. My husband's like, what? How do you know this? He stopped asking because where I learned it. Because from the residents, they know the music, they'll dance. We have a lot of entertainment and they love it. You'll be surprised what music does. It's great.